What's up guys, Phil here with Miranda Detailing. Today's video we're working on this beautiful white Range Rover and we're doing a full paint enhancement and ceramic coating, a 1-year ceramic coating. Alright guys, so we're going to start off this morning by doing the full wash, decontamination. We're going to be using some new products as well for the decon process. And guys, if you're enjoying videos like this, and I hope that you are, consider subscribing and clicking that bell. That way you get notifications each time these videos drop each week and you don't miss stuff. We're using Meguiar's Hyper Wash. So we're using this giant mitt from Microfiber Madness. And this thing is huge. It holds tons of soapy water, perfect for washing large vehicles, any vehicle really. And I'm also using this clay mitt. Now this will get the majority of the grit off the paint, and then we'll go through with an iron remover and, if needed, a tar remover. But this will get the majority of it, and if anything still remains, then the iron decon remover will remove the rest. Now it's feeling nice and smooth, but I can still see little bits here and there. So we'll either use a traditional clay bar or, like I said, the iron decon to get the rest of it off, but right now it's feeling nice and smooth. Now don't go overboard thinking that this is going to completely scratch and damage your vehicle. I use this on vehicles that I'm going to machine polish or machine apply wax. And most of the times it does not leave any type of marring, and if it does, the machine application of wax or sealant or machine polishing is going to remove that. It's not a big deal. Don't overthink it. We're also going to clean these wheels, and we're using these Microfiber Madness wheel cleaners. These things are awesome. So it's the same material as the wash mitt, and these are actually removable, so you can take them off and wash them and replace them, and they feel really nice and heavy duty. They're called the Incredibrush. So they're perfect for delicate wheels. Okay, so now what we're going to use is the last coat, Iron Off. So this is one of their new iron removers, so let's try it out. This can go on paint, glass, wheels, anything. It can be used as a wheel cleaner, but it's designed to remove iron particles. And on white paint, you can really see it the most. So we'll use it on all these bottom panels and just spritz it on the paint. I'm not going to overuse this product. So if you mist down the entire vehicle, maybe minus the roof, that's how much product you're going to use. So a few ounces, but that's typical. Only been a few minutes and you can see it's starting to dissolve a few little particles here and there. Oh, there's a lot more on this side. And underneath this area. Hard to tell on the wheels because it's mostly black gloss. But these wheels were pretty clean. They did not have a lot of brake dust on them in the first place. And the rest of the body is not showing that much. Little bits here and there. So the back of the vehicle is going to have the most, because really all the iron particles with the airflow attached to the back of the vehicle. So let this sit for a couple of minutes. If you're out in direct sunlight, then it's going to be a shorter time period. You may have to do multiple applications just to make sure. But then again, if you're a mobile detailer, you're not going to be using iron removing particles all the time. So just be wary of that. We're drying, so we're just using a nice fluffy drying towel, and we're going to blow dry all the cracks and crevices, the engine compartment as well, the wheels, the grille, to get as much of the residual water out so we can begin polishing. So at first glance, the paint doesn't look horrible, and even in the spotlights here, you can definitely see some defects. And remember, this is a paint enhancement. We're gonna go a little further in some areas because they need some extra compounding, but we're gonna try to really clear this up as much as possible. So yeah, you can definitely see it with the light here. The sides are a lot worse. So we'll try to fix those up. Not much we can do here. This paint has already failed, and it was a beautiful black metallic paint. So that's already failed. That's starting to fail. The side pillars, the B pillars, we should be able to make them look much better. And some of the roof is already failing. So it's the same black metallic, but way over there you can see it's starting to oxidize and fail. So we'll tread lightly on that as well. You don't want to over compound or over polish paint that has failed. So we'll fix that up as well. And there's an area here on this side that we're gonna have to go a little extra. You can see this may have been repainted or somebody tried to do some wet sanding, because you can see some pigtails from wet sanding. So this area may have been repainted. So we'll check it and see. But let's get to polishing, and I will pull out my paint depth gauge just to see what that area over there looks like that was repainted, and just to get an idea of how much clear coat there is to play with. So up here, a light polish, that's it. I'm not going to compound it because it is way too thin already, and it's already failing. So we'll have to tread carefully on that. Areas to take note of around the lettering here. So it looks like just the R is starting to fail and chip, and around here is chipping also. We're not going to polish this anyway because it is a matte finish, so we can't do anything about that. And there's another chip on that side on the plastic here. Like I mentioned already, these areas are failing. Same with this one here. It's just about starting to fail here. Same with these. So we'll just lightly hand polish these areas just to gloss up all around it, but that's it. So take note of damage like that when you're polishing a vehicle or detailing a vehicle in general, and try to get it documented as well. Document those things to let the customer know, and hopefully even do a walk around before you even touch the vehicle. All right, so we just tested this area. We just did a test spot using Malco medium duty compound and an orange Lake Country cutting pad. And let's see the difference as we go into the unpolished panels. And yeah, you can see the difference. So this is before and this is after. So this is what we call our paint enhancement. This is going to remove all the hazy swirls like this that catch all the light, and only going to leave behind tiny little defects. And for vehicles that are driven daily, this is what we recommend. We don't always recommend a full paint correction on daily drivers because it can be costly and it's going to get swirled up again anyway. So this is a perfect combination of polishing and protection that is within the customer's budget and gets awesome results. So this is what we're shooting for. So a couple of passes with the medium duty compound does an excellent job. Some areas we had to step it up to a Euro fiber, and I'm using 3D1. She's using the Malco medium duty compound, and it's working really well. But in some areas we need to go a little bit more. So the clear coat is actually pretty hard, but with a little bit more pressure, gotta get close to that edge there, but with a little bit more pressure, a little bit slower arm speed, this is the results. So it's actually getting really good results with that. And it's not taking any more time than what I was doing using the orange pad. So I increase the cut using this, using 3D1, and this is the result. So that's looking really nice. That's what we wanted. It looked like this before, and now we're looking like this. Great. So I'll repeat those steps all around in any areas that we need to go extra. Then I might kick it up to a compound. Otherwise, let's continue with this. Okay guys, here's a quick update. Now she's using, like I said, the Malco medium duty with the orange pad on the little cordless polisher. She's already blasted away through this while I'm still on this door. Now I'm using a combination of stuff here, the Euro cutting fiber, 3D1, a little bit of D300 to try to get the cutting power, and it's coming out. It's looking good. See, it's clearing up. But yeah, see, compared to this, I just did this, compared to that. But the Malco medium duty compound is doing an incredible job of clearing up the paint. Look how good that looks, and she's flying along. Now, that's not to say that the Malco medium duty is the best of the best. That's not what I'm saying at all. Meguiar's D300 is my go-to. 3D1 is amazing. But for this particular paint, that combo is really winning out. And it's proving it because she's flying along there and the results are looking incredible while I'm still on this door trying to get it cut right. So this stuff makes an incredible one step. Now, this clear coat is pretty hard. I would say it's medium to hard. And from my experience, usually Land Rovers or Range Rovers, their paint is pretty hard. I guess that's just what I have found. Maybe that's not in your case, but it is with us. So this stuff does an incredible job of cutting the paint and leaving a great finish, perfect enough for the ceramic coating that we're going to use. So remember, it's good to have a variety of products when you come across paint like this, where your usual go-tos are not quite cutting it. This is. What we're going to be using on the paint and plastic, again, is black ice and their Ceratrim. So loving these two products, they are incredible. The black ice does boast 12 plus months. Now, remember, with any coating, it's only as good as its maintenance. So you can't slap a coating on and expect it to last the amount of months or years that it says without proper maintenance. Each coating comes with its maintenance toppers. Geon has Cure, G-Technic has their Crystal, whatever, I forgot what it was. I actually don't have it here with me. CarPro has Reload. The new Epic line has their CR2, and so on. Dr. Beasley's has their Gloss Coat. So it goes on and on. Each of these coatings will have their silica topper spray to boost the coating, to bond to it, and make it last as long as possible. And that's very, very, very easy to use. Wash, rinse, spritz it on the panel, wipe it dry with a microfiber towel, you're good to go. So that's what we're going to be using today is black ice, and then it'll cure overnight. And what you use for maintenance is this stuff. So you can use this every few months, use this after every wash, and if you want to use iron off, you probably use that maybe at the 6-month mark or maybe at the year mark, but by then the coating is going to be on its last leg. So you want to repolish it, recoat it, but use these products to maintain it. Now we are on to wiping all of the paint down with an IPA, and we're using the Double Black Diamond P&S Paint Coating Surface Prep. Now be careful with this stuff. When it comes to surface prep, sometimes they can be really, really strong, and on delicate paint, you might see some marring. And it's not always the towel. I have found that sometimes the mixture in there is very, very strong, and it will remove the oils in there, and maybe some marring may return or maybe uncovered, but I haven't quite found that to be the case. What I found to be the case is that it's a little too dry and not lubricant enough, and it will cause any towel, no matter how high quality it is. I've tried the Kirkland towels, and I've tried all the other nicer brands, not all of them, but I have really nice super plush 500 gram towels that are really, really nice, and there was still marring. So just be wary of that. But on this clear coat, it's really hard, and I'm not seeing anything on the paint at all. So all the pillars, look really nice. I'm not gonna go full correction on them, but they're all cleared up, and it's looking awesome. Now, again, these areas I polished, on here, but you can see it's failing. So you can't go too heavy on this. This is also failing, whatever this plastic is, that really stinks. These glossed up a little bit more. They were starting to show some oxidation, but they cleaned up, but I'm not gonna go any further on them. You can still see some swirling, but again, I'm not gonna go too far on those because they may already be compromised. However, the paint is looking incredible. Really, really nice. Very happy with the results so far. And now the results are looking really, really good. Yeah, there are some deep scratches, especially on the hood here. There are some really deep gouges and scratches that I'm not going to try to dig out, but everything else at least is really cleared up. Oh, there's a little smudge there. We need to IPA that right there. There we go. Oh, so much better. There we go. Nice and clear. Let's do a quick check around Again, there are some areas that had more defects than others. Now this area, if you remember, it is really pigtaily. It's really bad. Now let's see what we can do with this and get it looking a little bit better. So guys, we're working, oh geez, I almost, take two. All right guys, so we're working on the gas cap area here. This panel was repainted. How do we know? Because when you look really closely, you can actually see weird things like this that are in the clear coat, and underneath the clear coat and paint, you can actually see, barely see it. See that? Those lines going in diagonal like that? That's actually underneath the paint and the clear coat. That's whatever Bondo or stuff that they used here, they sanded, but they never truly refined everything. They never really primed it over and resanded it to make it super smooth. So unfortunately, you see that underneath the paint. Now, if we go over here, you're gonna see all these little pigtails. So that's another sign of it being repainted, is pigtails like this. These are from a DA sander. So we're correcting that, and we're using the little RIDS Stix. I'm using 2500 grit, and then I'm using 3000 grit. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Ah, here it is. So I'm using 2500 grit with the little sticks here, and these are the softer ones. Actually, they're not. They're the harder ones. Oh, and they work great. Okay, so actually these are the harder ones. They got a little bit more stiffness to them, and it works really well. And I just have 2500 grit here and 3000 grit. So just very gently wet sand these pigtails out, finesse it with 3000 grit, and then simply compound it, and that's the finish. So this clear coat is really hard, but look how it finishes. Really nice. So let's get all this sorted out. So very gentle wet sanding just to get those pigtails out. Now let's compound it out and see how it looks. All right, nice and crystal clear. So there are some other deeper defects in here that I'm just not gonna try to chase out. But the majority of it looks so much better. All those ugly pigtails are gone. There's a little bit there I'm going to refine, but overall it's looking really nice. A little bit of residue down there, and even down here looks nice. So yeah, even up to the edge here, there are some deeper marks. I'm not gonna attack those too much. And around here, some deeper marks. Some of it looks to be actually underneath the paint. So bad Bondo work. But that looks much better anyway. That we can live with. Oh, none of that got recorded. So just another thing to point out, there's a little imperfection right there. That's not a dent. That is some imperfection in the clear coat, or not in the clear coat, in the body work underneath, something in the Bondo. So they just painted and clear coated right over it. So that's why it's good to have lights like this, because you will see those little imperfections. Now, the customer may not see that unless we point it out to them. But again, that's the work of a detailer, to see all these little things. And sometimes it's not fun to point them out to the customer because they don't like to see that stuff, because I can't do anything about it. But at least they know that we're going over the vehicle with a fine-tooth comb and picking out all of the flaws, fixing what we can, but at least showing what has happened to the vehicle. So now we're going to coat the entire vehicle, and we're using Last Coat Black Ice. Really easy stuff to use. So we just apply it onto the applicator, apply it in small sections, and you can see it with the lights here. Make sure to have plenty of lights. Apply it in like a crosshatch pattern so that you make sure to just get full coverage. And this stuff is not too bad to wipe off, but there is a little bit of residue that you may notice with your lights. After everything is wiped off, it'll look fine. But then if you check it with your high-powered lights, you may see a slight residue like that. So just be wary of that. It's not a huge deal. I've actually had it dry like that and it still wipes right off after 24 hours. But just make sure to use plenty of microfiber towels and keep wiping it, and eventually it will start to dissipate. That's the only thing I notice with this black ice, but it's not a big deal. Sometimes it's just over application. So make sure to use plenty of towels, keep wiping, and use a light touch with the microfiber as well. And eventually it will dissipate, it will go away. So that looks great. So this will go on the entire vehicle. All of these matte painted pieces, the headlights, the tail lights, all of the top surface, and we're going to put something else on the wheels. And we also used Ceratrim on all of the plastics. So it restored them and gives them a nice, rich, dark look, and it will protect them for months. So we're really enjoying using these two for 1-year ceramic coatings. So for the wheel protection, I'm going to use the Last Coat. So just the normal Last Coat version 2. Use a nice soft microfiber and wipe down each of the spokes on the wheels, and this will protect them. You may not get a ton of durability with this because this just builds up so much heat. And even with heat-resistant coatings and waxes on wheels, well, especially sealants and waxes, they may only last a month or two. It depends on how much driving you do. Usually coatings are going to last much, much longer on your wheels. All right, guys, that is it. The range is done, and I am running out of memory on my phone to record these, so I'm gonna have to offload a ton of footage on this phone, get it edited, and hopefully get it to you guys soon. So this was a really fun job. It's all polished. That area there, we had to go a little bit more extensively, do some wet sanding, and make sure that it was looking really, really nice. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like it, share with others who may enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell down there. That way you get notifications each time there's videos each week and you don't miss stuff. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a great week. Take care.